We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
The subsequent episodes of Nerds of UVM are sponsored by Chipotle. Head over to Chipotle on Wednesday, November 29th from 5 to 9 and tell them UVMtv sent you.
Now, back to our show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerds of UVM. I'm your host, David. I'm joined by my friend Luke.
Yo, what's up, guys?
And I'm joined by my friend Bob.
Hi.
For those of you who don't know, we are a bunch of nerds that sit around a table filled with toys and we discuss nerdy stuff. We're just going to get right into it, gentlemen. All right, I hope you all have had a good week.
Yeah.
It's about to get even better.
Yeah.
Because you know what we're talking about today? We're talking about Bionicle, my favorite toy line of all time, as we've already previously established. These were my action figures as a kid. And I want to talk about what makes them so amazing. So
You're
first,
such a nerd,
ask me
David.
questions about why Bionicle is
Okay,
amazing,
first of
'cause I
all, my nephew has a Darth Vader Bionicle.
nice.
I said, you know what? It can't be that hard to put together. I have so much more respect for your time commitment to put together these people because I gave up.
Are you serious?
I gave up like 15 minutes into it. I'm like,
Wow.
where's the grade 2 button? I was searching for it like I was panning for gold in a river.
Wow.
Like this was my life dependency.
Yeah.
I respect your love for these so much more
Yeah.
because I gave up. I might go back to it like during break because I was like during a study break I'm like I need to do something different and it just made me even more stressed.
Yeah, I mean the great thing about Lego with me is I found, especially during last semester when I was going through some stuff, that I would just go and get a small Lego set or something like that and just build it. It very much is able to help me focus in a lot of ways. And I know, It's I don't know. It's so calming.
I love to do. I
really
mean,
love
Legos as a kid, like we discussed before, like just tons of hours, just like making a spaceship I saw on TV.
So, ask me questions about Bionicle, gentlemen. Like, what do you want to know about it? Because there's like literally this is like a whole lore. Stop messaging me. Oh my god.
Okay, my first question. I guess it's general, but
Yeah.
I think it's legit. Why do you like Bionicle the best?
It's very interesting, because as a kid, growing up with toys, with enough sort of like leisure to have a lot of toys as a kid, I always found like the ones that were like the action figures and stuff like that never piqued my fancy because I always felt they were sort of shoddy and sort of cheap looking. Especially as the years go on, they look cheaper than they ever have before.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They cut costs everywhere now.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Well, lead paint's not good for kids.
Yeah. But, I mean, I was really into Lego as a kid. I really liked the construction because, again, it's just sort of like a soothing thing to take your mind off of stuff. And when you get around to Bionicles, I remember there's this one memory where I was at my grandmother's house. And me and my brother both had Bionicles. One was green and one was red. Not this. It was way
It was
back.
like phase 1, you said, right?
Yeah, Generation 1. Yeah. G1, G2 is what we're at that point with this series, and I love that. Anyway, so we built these, and these were like super tough at the time because they had like gear systems similar to what these were, and they were just the pieces were not as big and not as easily put together as much. It was a much older time, a little bit more rudimentary, and I was having such a hard time. But eventually, with my dad's help, I think when I got it put back together, it was very cool. And this toy had a name and had its own character description. It came with all this information behind it, and there was this whole marketing built around it to give not only the toy personality, but the world this toy inhabited personality and charm and depth. From comic books to an actual 70-minute fully animated film.
That impresses me too.
There's a lot of work put into this franchise, as it were. It was treated with a lot of respect, very much so.
With some hiccups.
With some hiccups here and there, obviously, but it was approached from okay, we want to tell a story with our own characters. Obviously, we want to make money off this, but we want to tell something interesting that keeps people invested, that makes people care for these toys that they're buying in a different way. Yeah. Very much so. I think it very much followed the Transformers ideology of trying to combine a narrative with toys, but it did it in a much more mature, much more much more fan respecting sort of way.
I get that kind of shift.
Yeah.
So
and that's where every year it would always supersede in some way, whether they added a different playability function. They would change the look, they would change the height, they would change the maneuverability. It was a never evolving series, which was another good thing. Eventually, they stopped moving from just singular figures and moved on to like vehicles these figures could use, which are more complex builds.
Yeah, sounds like a time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have some in my house that are like, there's this one thing called and this is later. This came out in like 2009. It's called the Scopio XV1, where
It sounds complicated.
No. Okay, so it's like a tank, right? But this tank can split into having 4 legs and standing up to be about that tall.
You know, I've seen.
I don't have the
I saw
patience.
ads for that on TV. I remember.
Oh, you remember that?
I
Oh,
remember
Scopio?
that.
I don't know. I'd have to see a YouTube ad. I mean, when we're done, I might look it up.
Oh my god! And the thing is, like the Bionicle ads too are so damn cool. Lego ads in general can be pretty cool, but I find that with a Bionicle, depending on the location of, wherever the toys are taking place, because it would do one of those things where like every year it's fought in a different sort of type of area. Like if it's in a web-infested city, then there would be like that sort of like the ads. They put them in like real sets. Almost, almost in like in real set places.
Yeah, those,
so
those
like,
are the best.
if
ads,
it was
yeah.
if they were fighting under the sea, they put the toys in like this underwater tank, which was really cool. If they fought in like a swamp, they would decorate like a little stand.
Yeah,
with
those are the
swamp
best.
and like dripping
Yeah.
goo and stuff like that. In the desert, they would put it like they would have like a track with sand and running around and everything like that. It's the ads themselves are actually very
Cinematic.
impressive, cinematic, and they really do sell it in like 30 seconds worth of ad time. It's
That's
like, yes,
cool.
you need to get this toy because look how much fun you're gonna have with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ostensibly it. And again, I say the toys, they were given a lot of personality. It was sort of archetypal in that depending on the color, you would sort of get the personality that you would expect to be associated with it.
Well, kind of like a Power Ranger.
So yeah, kind of like that. So like with the ice Toa, the white Toa, icy demeanor, sort of standoffish. Didn't really like to work with the others. The green Toa, although you won't be able to tell he's green because of the CGI. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
Not the CGI, it's the green screen in the background.
David's losing his mind. He's just moving his hand back and forth.
So with the green, he's sort of a little bit more flighty, a little bit more energetic in a lot of ways because he's the Toa of air.
Oh.
Yeah, in the second generation, he was made the Toa of jungle, which is not really an element, but leave that. This is the Toa of earth, and he had a bit more brutishness to him, but he also had a lot more wisdom
He's got
to
a
him as
hammer,
well.
too.
Yeah, he's got a hammer. He can fucking like, pow!
Time to bring you to
Yeah,
Pound
yeah,
Town.
yeah.
Oh wait, that's a different
Yeah.
thing.
But the other thing is that like it would sort of vary depending on what year they would, because it wasn't the same cast of characters every year. I remember there was one year where like these standard archetypes were sort of established. The fire Toa, the red Toa was like the fiery one, the hothead, and like the water one, she was sort of like more graceful and she sort of kept her cool a little bit better. But it was that by the time they got into the next generation of heroes, which was actually they told a prequel story in this sort of mythology. The Toa that came before the ones that we got to know. The red one was very insecure. He didn't really know where his place was on his team. There was the Toa of Stone, who's usually pretty reliable. He was kind of like a dick and like kind of like to joke around and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
There was the Ice Toa that was kind of like insecure and was like another insecure one, but insecure in the fact that he didn't have a lot of hope in himself or in a lot of hope. He was a pessimist in a lot of ways.
And then there's K2SO.
K2SO, yes, he's very just a
He's
droid.
the very sarcastic one.
He's not a Bionicle in a regular sense. But yeah, that's sort of like how
I have
it
a
evolved.
question, David.
Yes.
So what I've gathered with like Bionicles, it's very much like they're warriors, you know.
Guardians almost is a better
okay.
description.
So what are they fighting?
Yeah, what are they fighting?
Are they evil? Are there evil
Can you
Bionicles?
sum it up?
There are evil forces in the world. There's this all-encompassing evil that was originally known as the Makuta, which has since been expanded on into like it's an organization that is called Makuta. There's one villain.
Is it other like evil Bionicles? Or?
Yeah, it's evil Bionicles essentially.
Oh, okay.
And it's not the same Makuta every year. That is like the big baddie almost.
Oh, okay.
So like if we were to equate it to something like Star Wars, like Makuta is like Darth Vader / Emperor Palpatine almost, but they'll run into like bounty hunters and stuff like that. And actually,
they're running.
It's got a very
underlings.
like
Yeah,
evil organization name.
yeah. Makuta is like, and the head of it is Pterodax, who is this ultimate challenger to their deity Matanui. Like Pterodax wants to be the one to rule the universe.
Now, do they
whereas
sell
Matanui
these
does.
like characters as toys as well?
They did. They sold them in earlier years. It depends on the year. I mean, how Bionicle worked is they were released like 6 of these standard warriors at a time. So what would end up happening is more often than not you'd get, okay, so the 6 bad guys would come out in the first half of the year, and then the 6 good guys would come out during the summer or something like that. So you had these Baraki that were banished warlords now living under the sea as like these monstrous sea creatures. You had the Paraka, who were the first real villains to come out with some personality.
Wait, Baraki, you said like sea creatures?
Yeah. There was an arc where
Was one of them red and had like squid hair?
No, all of them are like the 6 main colors, like red, blue, green.
My
white,
brother had like a
brown,
red
black.
one with like squid hair.
That's probably Kalma. Yeah, Kalma was pretty devious. He was
like just
Yeah.
counts off names. And
He knows. He knows. He's
I
a
keep
real fan.
making up words. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know.
but that was
He's
like
a
an
real
evolution.
fan.
Originally, like there were just 6 archetypes, 6 sort of copy and paste models that would just be the bad guys of each element or whatever it was. So Bionicle, I mean, I don't know. We don't really talk about it too much, but like it's Bionicle. It holds a special place, and I encourage y'all to like look into it a little bit more.
I
'cause it
actually,
is, like,
I'm not like you piqued my interest at all. I mean, into like
At all.
well, not at all, but like into like automatically collecting. But I want to start.
There is a website called bricklink.com, which is you can buy any kind of Lego there that you want, but specifically like if you're going to look back for an older set, there you can go online and you can find places around the world where they are selling these older sets to various qualities. You know, what you pay you is what you'll essentially get for. You can buy from Hungary, you can buy from Russia, whatever you want.
That's pretty cool.
If you want to like check
In
it
Russia, Bionicle build you.
out. In Russia, Bionicle build you.
I have one last question.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Do they still make new Bionicles? Like, are they yearly releases?
No, they got canceled. They got canceled.
canceled?
This
Oh,
second
really?
generation, it got canceled in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Is there-
they're done again.
Are there any future plans in the grapevine, or
They-
is it now because of the Lego movie and stuff like that?
I think it was just because like this series for one reason or another was not working with this current generation of kids. And I think it goes a lot into like the amount of time that they developed. There was certainly like time taken to develop the lore because there were hardworking fans who are now employees like working at the series. But for one reason, it just didn't click the same way, and that happens sometimes. With like a reboot or something like that. You can see it again with the Transformers series. There are certain iteration of Transformers that just like really work, and certain iterations that just don't. Whether or not it's because of like quality or acting or storytelling or wherever it is. It's just sometimes the approach doesn't work, and it just ultimately fails. That's another reason why Bricklink is really great because if you want to go get an old set like I do,
I might try to see. Like, I just remember I had one Bionicle.
yeah.
I want to see if I could like just find it and be like.
I mean,
It's
this
somewhere
is their
in a corner.
This is their very standard sort of like building system. This
No,
use
the
of,
original that I had was chewed up by a dog.
Oh, so he's like, oh man.
this is their very standard building system. Like these pieces, like again, you've seen them in the Darth Vader, you see them in K2SO. So like they will always. I would assume they'll come back to Bionicle one day. They're just not ready to do it right now. Maybe in another decade or so, they will revive the
But
franchise.
you'll be there.
I will be there.
You'll be there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll be here, but we want to thank you all for joining us on this episode of Nerds of UVM. If you enjoyed us talking about or me talking about Bionicles in particular, consider following us at our social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on when new episodes post and when we update stuff on social media, like pictures and tweets and all that jazz. We're just going to end it right there. So, again, I want to thank you all for joining us at Nerds of UVM. I've been David.
I've been Luke.
I've been Bob.
And this has been Nerds of UVM. Until next time, live long and prosper.
Boomerang attack.